The biggest development for Meniga is we have partnered with United Nations, and we are working towards increasing awareness of customers of our customers, so the end clients of banks, when it comes to their eco-footprint. So what we've done is we have enabled the option of give back. So customers that are using our platform in the Nordics, which is based on cashback rewards, can decide to donate part of the cashback they're getting into a charitable cause. So right now our focus is carbon offsetting, and we've launched this in September, so this month, and over the first 3 weeks we did manage to offset more than 800 tons of carbon dioxide, which is pretty cool. So right now we are rolling this out mainly in the Nordics for a couple of reasons. The most important reason is it tends to be the most interesting thing in our portfolio to the banks that already covered finance management and are already working with us. So this is a logical next step, but also in terms of just how societies are looking at this, Nordic countries seem to be most aware at the moment. However, we wouldn't like to limit this only to them. So in Europe, basically everyone is interested, and we are also having interesting conversations as we speak with some customers in US and Canada about the same topic. And on a broader note, from our perspective, this is something that should reach every customer on the globe, and not necessarily focusing only on carbon dioxide, but on any means or ways of measuring your impact on the planet. And from Meniga's point of view, this is just part of the journey on how we can improve well-being of the customer. So it starts with your finances, but you can have all the money in the world and still be unhappy if the planet is suffering. So this is how we want to connect this is how we want to add extra dimension to the data that we're processing, and more engagement to banks that want to go beyond finance management. So at the core of what we're doing, we always have been looking at customer-centric view on the data. So we have been always trying to get the full picture of what the customer is doing in terms of finances, and we are expanding beyond that. So the carbon footprint is an example of how we are adding more data, but it's also working with partners. So right now in Europe, we had the PSD2 deadline a couple of weeks ago, and this is something which has been a very, very important step for us, because it enables our customers to provide a holistic view of customers' finances. But we are not going to stop there. We are working on adding things like loyalty programs. We are working on adding things like the transactions that are from outside of the banking space. And we are trying to give customers more and more information and more control over what they are doing. So to give you an example of how this could work, let's say you went to a restaurant, and so what we can tell you about this? So yeah, you spent some money. There was a currency and amount and date involved, but this is just banking details. But then that restaurant had a name, and it was a brand, and you've been visiting them, and maybe they have some cool offers they want to show you, and we can also calculate what would be the eco footprint of going to the restaurant based on some metrics that already exist. So there's lots of information that can be provided to the customer, and then all this can be shared within the ecosystem of partners. So one of the things that we've been working on recently, and it's actually something that we are announcing tomorrow, we have just joined the TCS Kubo marketplace, which is basically a place in which you can get vendors that are working with TCS, and they are pre-integrated with their banking platform, and they can offer additional features and additional data to enrich the experience of banks already working with TCS. I'm not going to hide the fact that it is very exciting, and there are more options probably for us, that things that we can actually do well. So we are trying to focus on working with data. But it's difficult to stay focused even when it comes to geography. So I did mention Europe and PSD2, but we are also very active in Southeast Asia. We have opened an office in Singapore, which is yet another new thing since our conversation in Amsterdam earlier this year. And there are interesting things happening in Singapore, in broader region, but even in South Korea and Australia, with open data on open banking push that is happening right as we speak.